Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Jason Sarney here with PhinManiacs.com. And this is going to be our 2020 All-22 Coaches Film finale with Jay Fiedler. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing okay, Jason. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. We're going to kind of turn that page, go from the 2020 season now to the off season. We're not done. We will be back here and there. But now we're going to talk about, before we get into developmental progress of Tua, there was some news today. It was some odd news from the last, 24 hours in the social media world, but the Miami Dolphins will be moving on from offensive coordinator Chan Gailey. Jay, when you were following this news, this is a little bit of an enjoyable social media breaking, I guess I would say.
Yeah, well, it was Adam Schechter, I think, was the original guy who broke it, and ESPN climbed on. That was kind of an interesting twist. Kind of forced Greer and Flores to come out and say he wasn't fired, and then a day after that, the resignation, and who knows what happened behind closed doors, whether it was Chan's decision to move on, or whether that was something that they kind of let him go on his own terms, a forced resignation. We don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know that answer. They'll be pretty tight-lipped in the organization, as they should be. But it's definitely interesting news. I'm sure as a rookie quarterback coming in, you want to have some continuity, going from year to year. Obviously, there's going to be new players every year, every time. But when you're learning and just getting started, into your career, it helps to, have that same system, year in and year out. There's a reason why, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, guys like that, Aaron Rodgers, in year 7, 8, 9, 10, within the same offensive system, are able to just take the game to such a new level, because their knowledge is so beyond a PhD level, that they're able to do things just off of instinct, and that's where you want to play as a quarterback, is you want to play with instinct. You don't want to play with anything, any thoughts kind of roaming around in your head of what does this mean, what is the terminology here, how quickly can I get the words out? Does it, do I say something and automatically know, process exactly what it means? Because that's what happens after, over time, when you're in the same system for an extended period. But there's also, some things to be said about, bringing fresh eyes and fresh coaches in as well. I went through my career 10 years playing in the league, and I think I had 8 different offensive coordinators. Now, it made it difficult to, pick up things, terminology, get comfortable with the system year in and year out. But I also had different perspective on plays, and what you find is, everyone, every coordinator, offensive football, there are some standards across the board. There are standard plays that are just in every single offense. Sometimes you get a different coach that teaches things a little bit different way that you could connect with, that you look at a play and how it shapes up a little bit differently, and you get different perspectives. And over my career, I learned a lot from being with different coaches. One coach, for example, when I was in Minnesota in 1998, with Brian Billick as the offensive coordinator, our team was, talent-wise, so far, above and beyond, anyone out there. You had Chris Carter, Jake Reed, Randy Moss on the outside, Robert Smith. You could do just about anything. So, the philosophy was not to get too complicated, but, let your playmakers go out and make the plays. So, your thought process was more on, where can I find my matchup? Where's my, do I like how, they're rotating their defense, matching up on, on Randy Moss, or do I like the matchup with Chris Carter against a different D-back? However your play calling, however your scouting process went that week, that determined, hey, don't overthink it too much. Find your matchup, go to your guy, and let him eat. And then I got down to Jacksonville the following year, and again, we had some great talent, but with Tom Coughlin, it was more about going through your read process a little bit more, going through your progressions, knowing that you had different guys, and just the way that different coaches attack an offense philosophically. Getting those different perspectives sometimes helps over the course of developing as a quarterback.
And it's going to be interesting. And, you make great points there. Yes, I do believe you're exactly correct. We'll probably never know exactly the real true story. And that's exactly the way I'd prefer to go in and think about it, because that's the way it should be. And in terms of just the development, yep, help is on the way for Tua. You're going to break it down really and show not negative plays, positive plays that maybe in a year or two, Tua is just going to get such a sense where it becomes great plays. Even that split second making that decision before, and you got a good play here queued up to Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, well, I pulled this one play out. It was a positive play, and if the casual fan is looking, at this play and going through it, it's 3rd and 10. Tough situation. They hadn't gotten a lot of third down conversions up until then. I don't know if they had any before this play, to be honest with you. 3rd and 10 on your plus 39 going in. It was later on in the game. I think this was in the third, maybe in the fourth quarter. I think it was actually fourth quarter. Okay, but Buffalo's still playing. Whoever they got in there is playing hard. They don't want to give up any more points. And Tua rips a nice, seam throw to Gesicki down the middle of the cover 2 defense. Positive 23-yard gain gets them down to the 16. They actually scored on the next play with Ahmed running up the middle. So, let me just go ahead and play this and, show the positive of this. Okay, they roll into a cover 2. You got Gesicki running down the middle. All right. Tua throws it down to him. We've been talking, for a couple of weeks how Fitzy loves throwing those seams, getting them downfield. We want to see Tua do the same thing, get the ball to Gesicki down the seam. Okay, and right there, you look at this play, 23-yard, great positive play. But if you want, if we go back and dissect it, okay, what we see is, big windows where Gesicki could have caught this ball a little bit sooner. Okay, and for a seam route, generally you want to get the ball in the player's hand running on a seam route, and around that 18 to 22-yard range. Okay, so from the 39-yard line, you want to get that ball in his hands from around the 21 to the 20, to the 19, basically. Maybe into the 18-yard line. Okay, now let's just see where he ends up catching the ball here. Okay, right now he's in that 18-yard range. Okay, and look at the window that he's got right here. Okay, this linebacker didn't carry. You got room to throw the ball up and over that first level, drop it into Gesicki here. And if you get the ball on him right now, where he catches it as he's crossing the 20-yard line, okay, now maybe there's a chance that he can make a football move, okay, make this safety miss and move on to a touchdown, okay? But, instead of catching the ball here and being able to run with it afterwards, okay, Gesicki ends up getting the ball right there, okay, catching it on, what is that, the 16-yard line. So now you're 23, 24 yards downfield, and as soon as he catches it, he's getting hit. Made a great play holding on to the ball right here. But what you'd love to see is him catch the ball right here. Okay, and in order for that to happen, the ball's got to be out when he's right here getting even with that linebacker. Okay, and what you see from here is Tua is not even set up to make that throw. And I think a lot of the thing, one of the things, if I'm his quarterback coach, okay, whether it's a private coach that he's working with in the off season, or back at the facility, whoever they bring in, with the new offensive coaching staff. Whether they elevate a guy like George Godsey, who worked with him a lot on the sidelines, and I think was very deserving of the opportunity. I think the tight ends, was one of the best units on the offensive side this season. Obviously, Gesicki had a big year, but even Smythe and Shaheen, when they had their opportunities, made some plays as well. So I do like the move. If they elevate Godsey, keeping that continuity and getting there. But whoever, going back to Tua, whoever's working with him this offseason has got to get his timing with his feet to match up, the plays that he's throwing to. Okay, because right here he should be planted with his back foot, ready to throw this ball. Okay, and get the ball out as the tight end's crossing first level of the defense. Okay, but he sets, he's got another split half second till he plants that back leg, and now ball's out when he's already in the clear. Okay, and we talked a lot about that, is anticipating the windows where your receiver's going to and getting the ball on him when he hits that window. Okay, not throwing him the ball as he's in that window, and then going into to a closing window, basically, that the safeties converge on. Okay, and if I just go forward here to the end zone copy, okay, you'll see one of the issues that I've seen that came up a lot throughout the whole season is this little false step that Tua has, especially when he's in shotgun, when he's in drop back mode. Okay, now when he does his RPOs, his play fakes, he's as quick twitch as it comes. He's got a great quick release, gets the ball out, his feet move and react quickly. Okay, but when he gets into drop back mode out of here, and this is something that you see a lot nowadays in quarterbacks that I work with, the younger level. Okay, especially when they're in shotgun all the time, when they're just playing 7-on-7 for a long time, is they end up with some lazy feet. Okay, and lazy feet in your drop ends up with bad timing. Okay, on your routes. So I'm just gonna put it in slow motion. Okay, you'll see right here at the snap. Okay, watch his right foot at the snap. Okay, should be coming up in a second. Sorry, I stopped it a little too soon in the slow motion. But here we go. Okay, catch, step, and then he kind of hops onto that right leg first. And now he's literally, 2 steps into his drop. Okay, but that's really considered his first step of a drop. So if you're in gun, your 3-step drop. For a lefty, that left foot is first. All right, that's number 1. And then, whether it's a slide, or a crossover, okay, 2, 3, okay, and then he takes that extra step to get set and throw. Okay, so if I'm throwing down into the seam here and I'm in the gun, okay, number 1, and I want to get into, from under center, a 5-step drop, which equates to a 3-step drop, and hitch and throw from the shotgun. Okay, so he ended up taking that false step, a 3-step drop, and then, whether you call that a hitch or kind of an extra shuffle into 4 and 5, okay, it doesn't really matter, but either way, his timing's off. Okay, his back foot right now is just getting down into the ground to load into his throw, and Gesicki's already clear on this linebacker. Okay, so just if we equate it to the sideline copy right now, okay, as soon as you see here, you got a leveled off defender, linebacker, and a guy running full speed, 6'6" down the middle of the field. Okay, there's no way, if he's not carrying him right now, that he's going to make a play on this. This ball should be out right now, anticipating that window up ahead. Okay, but at this point, all right, from here, Tua's got one more step in him to get that left foot loaded. Okay, and now ball's out here, when he's already in the clear. Okay. So, for me, I'd be working diligently all day long, all off season long on getting his footwork intact whenever he's working with his receivers. Okay. Make sure that he's adjusting his footwork to whatever route those receivers are running. Okay. And he's got to, get on the same page with them so that his feet can match up how he's processing, the thought process of a play, and be ready to deliver the ball at the time that it's supposed to be delivered.
And honestly, if I'm looking at that, I'm very happy that that's what we're going to need to watch for his development. Little tiny,
Yeah,
tiny
and look,
nuances.
timing is something, especially in an offense that you've never been in before, one that you're learning. One that you didn't have an off season to work in. These are the things that you're really working in off season. These are the things in in OTAs and in training camp, that you nail down is your timing as a quarterback and your footwork and the small little details that it takes on every single play. Now, who knows what this off season has in store? With COVID still out there. There's talk of national championship game getting moved back. I don't know what's going to happen. In terms of the NFL. What their decision is going to be in terms of their off-season schedule. If they're going to allow guys to, teams to get together. If it's still going to be a virtual session. If they're going to allow, quarterbacks and receivers, teammates to even, get together privately, which is something that, they restricted this past off season. So either way, whatever they allow, the Tua's got to get with, with his teammates and start working on his timing, getting his footwork down, eliminating those false steps, that he has at the start of his drop, and getting, set in the pocket a little bit quicker. So, when he delivers a ball like this, it's out on time. And I think his receivers will like it a lot more when they're catching the ball with 4, 5, 6 yards of room between them and the defender, rather than catching the ball right when the defender's conversion.
And I think that's the number one thing that this offense really truly needs is the yak, the yards after the catch, that playmaking ability. Those playmakers should be on the way. And, really honestly, looking at his first year, rookie year, let's call it the cup of coffee. It wasn't a full season, no preseason, as you mentioned, no regular just routine of OTAs and all that. So if you think that there's one thing, if you mentioned it with the footwork, if that's the most important thing, what's the number one thing really for that next step next year when the playmakers are coming?
Well, like I said, I think that's a big key is getting timing his feet with the plays. Now, a lot of that is going to be determined by what the offensive system is going into next year. When they do make a decision and hire a new OC, is it going to be the same system? Are they going to hire within? Are they going to keep that continuity? And that'll allow him, a head start at least in working on those smaller details, now of footwork and timing and the physical stuff there. And and then number two, he's just got to get into the film room. Okay, he's seen everything up close. He's seen it out on the field now. Okay, and he's got to just understand, how defenses start to disguise, how they roll, how they react at the snap of the ball, where my protection should start moving to, all those pre-snap things we talked about on Monday, and previously, those are things that he's got to study and build on, and just understand, just get into every single defense that he's going to be facing next year, from a personnel level, understanding where your matchups might be, and then from a scheme level also, understanding what they like to get to, what they do in certain situations, whether it's blitz, whether it's third down, whether it's first down across the half field, whether it's red zone, all those different situations, and just start charting, take notes build up your files on every single team, every guy out there in the league. So he's ready to come into training camp next year with a big head start.
And now as we go into the football offseason, there will be no offseason at PhinManiacs.com. We'll have plenty of stuff for everybody. Now, Jay, when you ended a regular season, was there like a 2-day, 1 week? Was there a football detox period for you? What was really that next couple of days after the season ended for you?
Yeah, look, the NFL season is such a long, grueling season, that everyone needs a break after that. And depending on how far you go in the playoffs, whether you make the playoffs, what's going on, whether you have injuries that you're dealing with, that'll determine kind of your rest period and regeneration period that you take. For me, it was usually just getting away on whatever kind of vacation for a couple weeks, and after if we didn't make the playoffs, I was ready to go as soon as Super Bowl week was done. I'm ready to go. If we're into the playoffs, maybe you take an extra week or two into February. But physically, you got to stay in shape. Can't let yourself get lose any of what you built up. But the biggest thing is taking care of your body. Any injuries, making sure that they're all cleaned up, before you restart the engine again in the off season and cycle it back up. And it's a process, going through the off season as well. And you have to work it in stages and build yourself back up, peak a little bit, let yourself rest a little bit, and then get on to your next peak, as you get further into the off season.
Well said for really all things in life, really. And thank you for everything that you've done, Jay. I had a terrific time breaking down film with you twice a week, and looking forward to doing it often again. So thank you for everyone watching. We'll be doing a lot more fun stuff on the website. Check us out and check Jay's work out, what he does. And anywhere else they could find you, Jay, in the next couple of months?
Well, absolutely. You can find me at brookwoodcamps.com. Or at Brookwood Camps on social media. That's my summer camp operation. And then, for football training and football camps and clinics that I run, it's primetimecamps.com or at primetimecamps on all social media. And just to add one more thing going into this off season, going into Hall of Fame season, I got to do a shout out to my guy 5'4", being a finalist for the NFL Hall of Fame selection, and it's time for this guy to get in. Zach Thomas, one of the all-time greats, certainly a Dolphin all-time great, and he deserves to have that bust up in Canton with all the other NFL all-time greats. My biggest question is if they, once they sculpt that bust for him, is it going to have a neck?
That is fantastic. I hope it comes with that and some Cheetos, because I heard the legendary story of him breaking down Cheetos and everywhere in his Cheeto film. But
oh yeah,
you said it. I will literally celebrate. I've never seen a Super Bowl victory. I could imagine what it would be like, but I think the closest thing that I would have would be like celebrating that Colt victory in the playoffs if Zach Thomas gets that berth into the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. I'll be tracking it. I know you will. And I know all of us out there are praying that 5'4" gets in. But thanks again, Jay. Happy and a healthy New Year to you and family. And we'll see you next time when we break down some film here. Take care, everyone.